Hello, everyone. By now, you might have heard that Caniglia v. Strom, a Supreme Court case, was recently decided. Now, here's the deal. This case was never directly a Second Amendment case. It was really more of a Fourth Amendment case, but it had huge implications as far as the Second Amendment goes, especially when you consider that the whole reason for the case revolves around a warrantless seizure of a man's firearms. Now, I'm not going to really give a real big in-depth description of what led up to this, but here's the deal. Basically, a man was involved in some sort of situation that was led to a welfare check being done by the police. The police determined that he was unfit in some way, sent him off to be evaluated. During the course of that, he was determined to be not a threat to anyone, and in that, the police took it upon their duty to confiscate the firearms without the approval of the owner or the owner of the home, to take those firearms under the guise of community caretaking. Previously, the Supreme Court has held that community caretaking can come to involve someone's vehicle, where the specific case that happened had something to do with a vehicle was impounded, and during the course of that impounding, the police said, hey, we need to make sure there's no guns that are just sitting in the back of this truck or in the back of the trunk of this vehicle. Now, the Supreme Court held in this decision that the police were not acting within their authority to take the firearms from that person's home. The problem is even though this is a big win for what the police can and can't do, and that's awesome, we should always be for the rights of the people and protecting people's rights, regardless of whether or not it's a Second Amendment. The Fourth Amendment is hugely important, especially for people that are involved and interested in the Second Amendment. Now, here's the deal. This is not going to affect red flag laws. Specifically, if we read one section, it says, this is from Justice Alito, and they said, this case also implicates another body of laws that petitioner glossed over, the so-called red flag laws that some states are now enacting. These laws enable the police to seize guns pursuant to a court order to prevent their use for suicide or the infliction of harm or innocent persons. They typically specify that the standard that must be met and the procedures that must be followed before firearms may be seized. Provisions of red flag laws may be challenged under the Fourth Amendment, and those cases may come before us. Our decision today does not address those issues. Now, you've probably seen several people saying that, oh, this is affecting red flag laws. As of right now, it does not. Does it potentially set a good precedent? Maybe. I think that could be argued. However, this case specifically does not get rid of red flag laws and is not establishing a system for which you would get rid of red flag laws. However, it is good to see that many people on the Supreme Court now are interested in hearing that sort of case and are open to hearing that sort of case. Red flag laws, the whole take the guns first, do the due process second. I think that's kind of not really in line with due process, because you can't punish someone without actual proof or committing, it's kind of a big deal to take someone's property. So while this doesn't directly affect the Second Amendment, I think this is huge, because if this did not go our way, it could have set a precedent that would have allowed the police to confiscate our stuff, our guns, and take away your rights to protect yourself, simply because they felt that you might have been a danger to yourself or others. This case does not expand upon the Supreme Court's opinion that they should keep the community caretaking clause of this ability for police to go out without a warrant or without immediate belief that someone's going to be hurt. It's good to see them restrict that. You can be supportive of police. Personally, I'm much more on the critical side of police and how they are related to government control over your lives and how that affects you. So I'm much more of the opinion that all government entities should be very limited and controlled. The government entities should not have the ability to limit and control what you do. Now, there's a whole lot of nuance to that, and we're not really going to get into that, but this is a big win for us, because a loss in this court case would have been devastating and would have removed the need for red flag laws altogether, because instead of the system that is in place now, which is unconstitutional in my opinion, of someone filing a red flag restraining order, the judge looks at it, says, yeah, let's do it. Police then go with a restraining order warrant, go take your shit, and then you have to fight it out in the courts to prove that you aren't a danger to yourself or others, even though they have no actual proof that you are. I disagree with those, but that's different than the police just showing up to your house, seeing that you have a anti-cop sticker on the back of your truck and saying, you know what, we're going to fuck with this guy today because we think he's dangerous and we should go take his guns, regardless of there being any evidence of a crime in progress or planning to be committed. But I don't know. Let me know what you guys think down below. Did I get anything wrong? If I did, I am more than open to discuss that with you guys. This is not necessarily something that's in my wheelhouse of things I typically cover, so I'd love to hear your guys' opinion. There's a few of you, maybe specifically Blast Advocate, I love hearing from you. Max, I like hearing from you. Ton of people that have been excellent commenters, and I'm happy to have you guys' support. You guys know the drill. Have fun, be safe, stay dangerous. Peace. Okay, for my Cali peeps, P320, boom. Got this bad boy. Something ringing in the distance. Sorry about that if you guys hear that in the background. I'm going to be making a video on how to get one of these in the state of California without having to match the US national debt to pay for one. Thank you.